This is my campsite this morning. The dirt didn't pitch really well because it's a nice big campsite. And today's going to be a 16-mile day to a stealth site somewhere. I think that's where I'll end up.
Hey there. How y'all doing this fine morning? This is Data coming to you from being back out on the Ice Age Trail this morning at 7 a.m. I only have 16 miles to go today or so. I have to pick a stealth site somewhere between 15 and 18 miles out today. And that will make my day tomorrow somewhere between 8 and 12 miles. And as you can see, I'm on trail at 7 a.m. right as the sun comes up. I'm walking the Ice Age Trail right around the edge of the campground. Water's a little scarce today, so I've got a plan for that, but I'll have to manage that as I go.
This is a really nice water collection spot. It is just 7/10 of a mile eastbound from the campground.
So a little over an hour in,
I'm crossing Highway SS. And just saw the first 2 cars I've seen all day. So I think hiking at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning is definitely the trick to not running into weekend hikers or traffic on the road walk. Another little forest of blackberries. This is the view out over Butler Lake from the bench that's on the Parnell Esker, right at the top. I've only seen one person, and that was a trail runner heading south full clip. Hand pump over there, the trail takes you right through it. Trail goes up the other side over there. Now, unfortunately, the picnic tables are out in the direct sunlight, but well, I took about a 20 or 30-minute break here on those picnic tables. Was able to elevate my feet, took a little 5-minute nap, got a bunch of water from the pump, had a nice healthy snack. It's out in the sun, but it's not too hot today, so it wasn't too bad. And then there's actually a view of Butler Lake over there. And now I'm headed to, as you can see on the sign right there, up those stairs to the Parnell Tower first, and then on past the Greenbush Group Camp. Came across a bench with a view. So just after I passed the 193-mile mark eastbound on the Ice Age Trail, I came to a junction with a side trail to the Parnell Tower and parking area, and that's what I'm showing you now. It has pit toilets for men and women. It has a water fountain and a water supply side spigot on it. It has picnic tables that are under a big covered awning. The trail access is right over there. And a unique bonus point along the Ice Age Trail, it has a power outlet that is live. So now the only downside to the side trail is 0.6 miles off of the Ice Age Trail, so it's a little bit of a trek.
Anyway, so I'm going to take a shoes off, pack off, lunch break. I'll be here for between half an hour and an hour just resting up. But this is actually, even though it's 0.6 off trail, for me it was well worth it. And I just now spotted there's actually another power outlet on the other side of the little pavilion they have here. And this all looks like it's brand new, so this might be a new thing.
Okay, well, I'm back on trail, back on the Ice Age Trail. I took about an hour break at the Purnell Tower parking area, and it was well worth it. While I was there, I looked on far out, and I think I have found a place to camp today that will not require me to stealth camp. Looks like there's a business just off trail, about 8 miles out from here, that lets you camp for a donation.
So that's where I'm headed now. I have one stop in between. Since that's 8 miles out, I have a campground with water supply and toilet that I can stop at in about 5 miles. So I'll stop there and rest just a minute. But yeah, it was a good rest. Spent like an hour there, so I'm all refueled and rested and ready to go.
So I've gotten to mile 996, south of, I think it's called Greenbush, by 5 miles or so. And I came across a pretty good sized blowdown I thought I'd keep track of. A lot of this area I've been walking through has changed into a combination of different kinds of evergreens. You got some Douglas firs and some pine trees, and I think some Canadian hemlocks. So I like that I have a bunch of that in my yard back home, but also it cools everything off. That's a hemlock there. These are some grand old evergreens too. You can see how back in there how very dark it is. All these are alive up top too. It's a pretty healthy stand of trees. And it's nice to walk, like right now I'm walking into one of these stands. I can feel the temperature drop like 5 degrees or more as I walk into it. I just passed the Greenbush Group campsite. I was going to stop there, but I've now changed my mind because I don't really need a break just yet, and I'm only 3 miles from the restaurant where I can pitch a tent or maybe get a ride. So I figure the sooner I get there, the better, since it's a Sunday. I don't know if they'll even be open on Sunday, although I think a bar and grill kind of a place in Wisconsin is probably going to be open on a Sunday at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, but they might not be open late. So, but I am 15.5 miles in on the day, so by the time I get to this stop, I'll be 18 miles in on the day, not including the side trip to the Parnell shelter area. So, it's been a pretty good day. So the last hour or so has been kind of a workout. So I thought I would just keep moving at a good pace, get to my end point for the evening and try to relax a little bit there. Well, I have about a half mile left to my destination, and this might be one of the last kettles I see today. It is huge. It must be a quarter of a mile across and several hundred feet deep. In fact, it's hard to see from here, but it's actually not a dry kettle. It's got water way down in the bottom of it. That is some wildernessy stuff there. A lot like on the AT, on the Ice Age, when you get near a road crossing or a gap, it tends to be that the trail gets a little bit wider and you're kind of moving generally downhill. It's been more well worn from weekend hikers and things like that. I'm headed to a place called Nicholas House. It's a, I suspect, German-themed bar and restaurant. Has a pretty good reputation on Google, but I can't even find hours for it or anything, so I don't know if it's actually open. But there's also a comment far out that says somebody near this road crossing will let you camp for a donation in their lot. I think it's the Nicholas House. A nice valley to get to hike out next to, though. So this is called Plank Road, and there's also a bicycle path that connects to it up here called the Plank Trail or something like that. And right here where they connect, by that little old style sign, is a restaurant. So I'm going to see if they're open at 5:30 on a Sunday. Well, it looks like Nicholas House is not open on Sundays because there's no one around. There's no signage that says it would be okay for me to pitch my tent there for a donation, anything like that. Since the Nicholas House was closed, I really had to change my plans and was lucky enough to find a kind trail angel to give me a ride back to my truck, and then went ahead and ended my hike and went on home to Mrs. Data.